Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. To start, we hope you're all safe wherever you are. Welcome to our second virtual open house at Canadian University, Dubai. Today, our special guest is Mr. Sid Attu. Mr. Sid holds many profiles and many hats at the university, but today he will be talking about transfer to Canada options. If anyone has questions, please feel free to send them through the chat and I will voice your questions for you. Without further ado, Mr. Sid, please go ahead. Let me just unmute you, Sid. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our virtual open house, and hope you're coping well with this exceptional situation, unprecedented situation, should I say. So I'll make it quick. I'll just do a quick presentation about transfer to Canada, and then we can answer some questions afterwards. And also, if you have any, I see that my recruitment team is also present, and then you can answer all the questions about admissions and so on. So why should you choose CUD? I mean, we are your portal to Canadian education. We have over 24 partnerships in Canada and still growing. And it's ran from coast to coast. It's over 5,000 kilometers. So we give you a lot of choices, if you want to transfer. Our students also transfer to non-partners. So we have a pretty good track record of credit transfer to a lot of the universities in Canada, I'll say most of them, as well as the top universities as UBC, UFT, McGill. These are, your Harvard of Canada. So what are the advantages? The first thing I will say, the cost. I mean, staying the first year or two, you will save a lot of cost on accommodation, housing, living costs in general. Also, the staying with your family because for an 18-year-old, 19-year-old starting university, coming from high school can be challenging. So in Canada, especially the first year of study, it can be difficult for some students because these are very big universities. There are over 20,000 students, especially being alone. It can be very challenging. So you gain the maturity level first here. We'll also introduce you to our Canadian model of education. So so you get adjusted. We prepare you at least for the first or second year. So when you go there, you're ready for it. Okay. And then as well, when you graduate from Canada, you're eligible for a 3-year working permit, which is at the end, this is what you want. You want to, if you want to continue having immigration, get your PR, get your citizenship afterwards. It's the best way to go about it is through education, through a transfer. Okay, so yeah, I think we can start. I know we have a limited time, so we can maybe start the questions, and please go ahead.
Hi, Sid. Okay, so the first question is from Sayed Nabil. I am a new student enrolled in CUD and want to transfer after my first year. What are the steps that I need to take?
So in general, you need to complete 1 year of study. And this is to qualify for upper year studies in Canada, you have to complete 30 credit hours, which is usually 10 courses. So when you start the CUD, we'll put you on a specific study plan based on the university where you'll be going. And so you'll be sitting with me and we'll discuss what are your plans, which university, and then we'll the program obviously that you want to go into, and then we'll choose your appropriate courses for you. So basically, let's say you start in this September, and you want to transfer for September 2021, you have to, so we have to start the applications usually by October, November of this year for the next year. So in Canada, you have to play well in advance for the intake.
All right, we have another question from, I was planning to go to Canada for the fall intake. I already had an acceptance, but due to the current situation, I won't be going anymore. Can I join CUD for 1 year and then transfer?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, of course. You can also defer your application. So depending on which university, we can, depending on the program you're going into, like I said earlier, we'll try to maximize your credit transfer for whichever university you're going to. But obviously, if you want to go to a partner, it's also a lot easier because partner offers scholarships. They can we guarantee credit transfer for that university as well. So yeah.
There's another question here from Oko. He's asking about his program. He's interested in master's, which is 1 year at CUD. Is it possible to transfer master's programs to Canada?
So we do have a new partnership we just signed with the University of New Brunswick. This is actually exceptional. Usually master programs are not transferable, but we do have a partner for the MBA. You can do complete 1 year at CUD, complete your 1 year 12 module, and then you can transfer for that the second year, because in Canada MBA in general is 2 years. Okay, so you can transfer for the second year and you graduate from with that degree as well.
We have a question from Ali Raza. What's the first step to transferring to Canada?
So we have to first, meet and see what are your plans. Like I said earlier, what university. If you're talking about more about in terms of documentation, they'll ask for your high school, obviously. COD transcript as well at the end. They'll ask for course syllabus, and then based on that, they'll make a decision assessment, and then they'll give you an acceptance. But at the end, I'll be the one who I'll be assisting you from A to Z through choosing the university, opening applications, communicating with the university abroad until you get the acceptance.
Just to let everybody know, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and we have a question from Facebook, actually, from Ahmed Helmi. If I want to go to Canada, what do I need so I can go to Canada?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Ahmed?
He's asking what information or what documents do I need to go to Canada?
So I just answered that question, but you need your high school transcript, your CUD transcript as well, and course syllabus. That's it. I mean, in terms of documentation, it's very straightforward.
What is the class schedule like?
Class schedule? So
yes, it's class schedule.
You're a university, so it's very flexible. A lot of students also work part-time because you're allowed to work part-time. So they're trying to make the schedule as flexible as possible. So you have morning, afternoon, evening classes, even weekend classes. So it's very flexible.
We have a question from Robert. Are we limited to certain universities in Canada, or can we apply to any university?
Any university. I will say any university. We have students apply to actually most universities in Canada. There are over 90 universities in Canada. So I will say they applied to most of them, and we had pretty successful transfers.
Another question from Ali Reza. What's the best time to transfer to Canada?
Usually the intakes are in September. So I will say apply for the September intake instead of January, because January is mostly, it's very limited, especially for international students. But especially this year, it's going to be a little bit different from what I heard from our partners and other universities. Because of the situation, a lot of universities are opening their intake for January, which is actually exceptional.
All right, we have a question from Sarah. I'll be doing your communications and public relations program, and I was wondering if I would be able to transfer to communications or mass communication major in Canada, or I have to be the exact same program and major.
Communication programs in general are the same in the first 2 years. Whichever university you go to, it will be the same. Once you go to the third, fourth year, this is when you start going into a specialization. So I will say communication program are usually the same. Same goes with the business as well.
We have a question from Rehab. If we do get in, how will we be joining the semester considering the pandemic situation? I am currently in Pakistan. I think this is a bit of a tricky question.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
So she's asking if she does get into a university in Canada. This is from Rehab Khan.
From September, this September?
Yeah, considering the pandemic, how would she get in?
That's a tough question. I mean, depend on university. You mean for this September intake?
Yes. Sorry, January intake.
For January intake.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, in order to qualify for upper year studies, you need to complete 1 year study usually. So you need to complete at least 30 credit hours. So if you start in September, you will not be able to, most likely not be able to apply for a January session. So you have to look for September 2021.
All right. We have a question from AK. It's a 2-question actually. Will all CUD courses in September continue to be online given the current situation? Are there any scholarship opportunities? If I may answer these, Sid. So the first question, we still don't know. It's up to the ministry's communication. There is nothing communicated for September yet. As for hopefully we get back to normal. Hopefully everything goes back to normal. In terms of scholarships, that will be discussed in the second part of the presentation by the admissions team. We have a question from Jasra. Can we choose the specific university in Canada?
Yes, of course, of course. My recommendation always to students is always apply to 3, 4, even 5 universities, because a lot of universities are very competitive. So it's always it's good to have plan B and plan C as well, because also it depends on many things. Like I said, it's competitive, depending on your grades, what type of GPA you will get at CUD. So there's a lot of if, and also you need language requirements. So you need IELTS, TOEFL. In general, you need a 6.5 overall, and no band below 6.
We have another question for the masters again. What are the requirements to transfer to New Brunswick for the MBA?
So yeah, so I mean, you need to complete at least 1 year. So you complete your module, 12 modules, and then we can apply for a transfer. But if you talk about the admission requirement, then they usually ask for 7 IELTS. They ask for your 2-letter recommendation from faculty members, a GPA, I believe above 3, and GRE test or GMAT test.
All right, there's a question. What if you register to CUD with the intent of going to Canada, but then you wish to continue in CUD? Is that possible?
Of course, we also have a lot of students that, they had an intent to transfer, but we also understand that things can change. Every individual is different. So a lot of them end up staying, complete their degree in CUD, and then even apply for a master's in Canada. So yeah, they were pretty successful. Some of them went even to very good universities as well with full scholarship.
Another question from Ali Reza once again. Can you change your degree while transferring, or does it have to be the same program?
That's tricky because I will say you have to stay within the same program, just because if you go to a different program, then the transfer credits, a lot of the courses would be extra courses, like they'll be transferred, but if they don't fit within the program, if your course doesn't fit with the program, then it's gonna be like an extra courses that you have taken. So it's better to stay within the same program. But if you're in business, let's say you're taking marketing and you go into finance, accounting, or any other business majors or concentration, then it's fine. But let's say if you're in business and then you go to a totally different program like health, or then it's gonna be more problematic.
Another question from Saeed Nabil. Will I have to apply for a work permit if I want to do an internship while studying in Canada?
No. No, because it's still within your, because once you apply for a program, the study permit they'll give you is for the whole program. So for the, let's say you do 1 year CUD, then you apply for study permit, you have to complete the 3 years, then you'll get a 3-year work permit, including study permit, and that includes your internship. But after graduation, then yes, you have to apply for your work permit.
If I want to go to Canada, can I request after completing all 4 years of bachelor's? I think if I understand that correctly, if I finish my bachelor's at CD, can I then transfer to Canada for my master's?
It's not a transfer. Once you complete a degree, you'll apply for another. Basically, you're upgrading. So that means you're applying for. It's not a transfer. When talking about transfer, is transferring to a program with credit transfer and so on. But this is not the case. So you're applying for. Once you complete a degree, we will help you apply for a master program in Canada, definitely, and yeah, and then we'll. Depending also on your grades, depending on, we can also try to get you some scholarships as well. In Canada, when it comes to master programs, a lot of universities offer full scholarship depending on your grades, obviously. But so it's definitely possible.
I have a question from a current CUD student. If I say his name correctly, it's Divyam. Hello, I'm a first-year student at CUD. Is there any chance to transfer to Canada in this September?
We'll have to review the file, depending, and we have to see which university has still have intake. But most likely, I would say it's not possible, just because the deadlines, a lot of university deadlines are already passed. So, but we can try to see if there's any. You can contact me directly to my email, and then we'll see if there's any universities that still have intake. But it's very, very tough now to find a university to have intake for September.
How will the cost be for the universities in Canada? This is a question from Mohammed.
That depends also which university. I mean, you have universities where it ranges from $8,000–9,000 up to $100,000. So it depends. It depends which university. If we talk about average universities, I will say mid-20s, $27,000, $28,000 maybe. If you want a top university like Toronto, for example, it's about $55,000 to $60,000. So it depends. If you talk about university on the east coast of Canada, where it's a lot cheaper, it ranges maybe from $10,000 to $15,000.
All right, we have a question from Robert. Are there any demerits to transferring into Canada as compared to go there directly?
Yeah, so obviously, if you're coming, like I said earlier at the beginning of the video conference, starting with CUD is a lot of advantages, yes. If you're 18, 19-year-old, it's good to start. You don't want to go right away with Canada. It's going to be can be very challenging. Some people, you know, you need to what we help you at CUD, we help you gain maturity. Start small. Our classes are 20, 25 students per class. First year in Canada, you might find yourself in a classroom where there's 400, 500 students, sometimes more. So you're like a number, definitely, you know. So here we have a smaller classroom. The professor ratio to students is, you know, it's a lot closer. You can ask questions to professor. You can yeah, I think this, and the cost as well. I mean, standing with your family at the beginning, it's definitely going to save you on the cost. So there's many advantages.
There's a question from Haroon. Can we apply to more than one university in Canada for an undergraduate transfer? Definitely,
yes. You can apply to 3, 4, 5 different universities. No issues. I had students apply to 10 universities before, so it's possible. There's no limit.
We have a question from AK. Is GMAT, GRE still required for MS holders and or working professionals?
Yeah, GMAT, if you go for something in management, business, yes, it's required.
We have a lot of questions.
Some universities do, you do have universities that exempt you, depending. You can ask for exemption, but that's also very rare, depending on your profile, depending on what you will submit, your grades, GPA, your letter of intent, which is very important, letter of recommendation from your faculty, that's also important. So it's the whole package. Then they'll do the assessment. Based on that, they can tell you if they're waive the GMAT or not.
We have a lot of questions for admissions requirements. We will answer these. We'll start answering these questions at 4:30. So just stay tuned for that. One more time, people are asking, when would be the right time to transfer to Canada if you're taking communications?
If you're taking communications?
So if you're studying, actually, I don't think the program matters in this situation. When is the best time to apply for Canada?
It depends. Depends how long you want to stay. If you can transfer after 1 or 2 years, depending on your situation. There are some programs where it's recommended to go after the first year, but these are the more technical programs like architecture, engineering, because they're very competitive in Canada. But other programs like business, health, communication, these are pretty straightforward. So,
are there any expenses in the transfer process?
You will have to pay only for the applications. So each university has their own set of fees. It's average of $100 per application.
What degree are we going to receive if we transfer from CUD to a Canadian university?
So if you transfer to Canada, you will graduate with that degree or which university you're going into. So you'll graduate from Canada, not from UAE.
There is a question, which province is the most convenient?
In terms of cost, in terms of immigration, in terms of, if you're talking about immigration, obviously I will say go to smaller provinces, just because it's they need immigration, they need skilled workers. So even the cost is a lot lower than, let's say, if you go to British Columbia, Vancouver, which is one of the highest cost of living in the world, or even Toronto. So these are very, very expensive cities. And even when it comes to immigration, it might take a little bit longer than the smaller provinces to get your permanent residency.
We have a question from Nidi. What is the deadline to apply for a transfer to Canada for September 2021 intake if one start the bachelor program in September 2020?
That all depends on also university. So if we talk about the top 3, you're Harvard, Canada. So you're looking at, I think it's mid-January, most of them. So UBC, UFT, and McGill. But the rest, then it will depend. I will say some of them are February, some are March, or even April.
I think this is a good question from Haroon. How will my class 12 marks impact my transfer after my first year at CUD?
So when you study at CUD, CUD will have more value. Your grades will have more value. So this is why it's good to start at CUD. Sometimes if you have an accident in grade 12, let's say, then we will help you get there. So it's not a death sentence. Don't worry. So it's possible to, even if you had bad grades, you were not doing that well, you can catch up and make it up at CUD, definitely.
Okay, these are not questions, but a lot of the students who are prospective students who have asked questions are thanking you for answering their questions. Just wanted to let you know.
No, you're most welcome, anytime.
Another question is I would like to start my application, but I haven't done my IELTS yet, or because the IELTS exams are now stopped. Now, hopefully for these students, by the time they want to transfer, the IELTS and the TOEFL exams will be reopened.
The thing is, all the universities in the world are going through the same thing. It's not just CUD or universities in Canada. I mean, this is unprecedented times. So they understand if there are things missing, or I would not worry too much. I think there are options that are going to be available soon. I believe even TOEFL now has a home edition. So it's, I don't think you should worry too much about that right now.
All right, I think we have all the questions. Oh, hold on, there's only one. Sorry. If you have received an acceptance letter from CUD and you're already enrolled in a university in your country, is it a must you go through the transfer process?
Sorry, I didn't understand it.
So is the transfer to Canada mandatory? Do you have to transfer to Canada if you study at CUD?
No. We are a degree granting university. So you have that option to finish in CUD, graduate with CUD. And if you want to pursue your, let's say, your graduate studies, then you can apply to Canada as well. So no, we are granting degrees university, and we are accredited by the Ministry of Higher Education. So you don't have to worry about accreditation, which is also very important. So yeah.
I think this question has been asked a lot. Maybe students are coming in after the session has started. If we transfer to Canada, can we transfer to any university, or can we choose, or is it chosen for us, the university?
You can definitely transfer to any university, but then again, you have to meet that admission requirement. You cannot just apply and think that you will get in. Of course, there are some requirements that you have to meet. So on average, in a typical university, you will need a 3 GPA and above, which is a B average. And IELTS should be a minimum 6.5 overall and no band below 6.
All right, we'll take the last question and then we'll move on to the admissions. Are there any scholarships offered in Canada for transfer students?
So I know our partners are giving scholarships. Usually international students don't usually receive scholarship. It's very rare, but it then again depends on your your merit. So a lot of these scholarships are by merit, academic excellence. After you transfer, spend a semester or two, you can definitely apply for academic excellence scholarship.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sid. That was very informative. Really appreciate it.
I'll stay on if there's any more questions.
Sure. Thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to the admissions, and we have Christine and Kristen. So don't confuse the two. I'll put them on right now. All right, ladies, you are on. Kristen, yeah, there you go.
Hi. All right, I just want to say hi to everyone. A few of you I see I have spoken to on WhatsApp or email. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen and I'm part of the recruitment team at Canadian University. So we're going to talk a little bit about just the programs we offer. I know a lot of you have questions about admission requirements, especially during this special time right now where we are doing a case-by-case basis. So just start. Okay, we'll start off here with, I don't know if everyone knows, but we are moving to City Walk. We're gonna have all new laboratories, gymnasium. So we're really excited about that. So this is one of the biggest questions we always get, equivalency certificate. Definitely the recruitment team is here to guide you guys on this because it can get a bit confusing. But anyone who is looking to apply to our university, we are accredited by the Ministry of Education and Higher Education. and everyone must present these certificates. It's basically just getting things stamped by the KHDA if you're from Dubai High School, or if you're an international student, getting it stamped by your embassy, and then again by the ministry. So we're definitely here to guide you guys on that, and we understand that right now everything is a little bit complicated and closed, so we're taking everybody's admissions on case-by-case basis. So for those of you who are in the American system, our basic requirements for most programs are 60% in grade 12 overall. Plus, if you do take the SATs, you should take the SATs. We only look at your math mark, so we just need an overall average of 450. CBSE curriculum, we do a conversion. So those of you who are in that system will need a 50%. For most of our courses, and math is required in grade 10. Of course, for the programs that are a little bit more math-based, so that's your architecture and your engineering, we do require that you have math in grade 12 and at least 2 other sciences, preferably physics and chemistry. British system, we need your O-levels and at least 2 ASs or 1 A. A minimum C of your O-levels have to be achieved, or the 2 AS a D. Again, if you are looking to go into architecture or something that does involve engineering, then we do need the science stream as well. So you should be doing at least 2 science subjects and 1 math. IB requirements, for those of you who are in that system, 21 points and at least 3 higher and 3 lower. And anybody who is in from the West African system or Nigeria, we do need your WAEC, and the 7 subjects should be a C and above. I know a lot of you have questions about TOEFL. So again, it's case-by-case basis because we know that none of you can write it right now until the testing center is open. So we need a 500 PBT or a 61 IBT. The IELTS should be academic. We need a 5.0 overall band. And as Sid mentioned, if you do want to transfer to Canada, your band should be at least a 6.5. And then for those of you who are here in the UAE, we do accept MSAT, and that should be 1100 for English. How to apply? Hopefully all of you have visited our website, so you know you can just go and apply online in the portal. Of course, this is our main job and what we're here for. We're here to help you. So if it is easier for you to send us your documents on WhatsApp or on email, then we're happy to do so, and we're going to give the contact details at the end. Documents required, of course, case-by-case basis, but the basics we need a passport. So especially for those of you who live outside the country, we need an international passport. We need your grade 10 and 11 transcripts, and right now grade 12. So whatever your school has given you. I've had students who have just screenshotted something from their portal of their predicted grades. I've had a letter from teachers or principals with a letterhead that's stamped. So we're able to consider these things based on the current situation. Your SAT math scores for those of you in American curriculum, and of course your IELTS. Your IELTS, of course, as Abdurrahman mentioned earlier, we don't really require it right now, but you will need to have it before September because that's when your courses start, so we need to register your courses. Here's a list of our main programs. So of course we have Faculty of Engineering and Interior Design, and then we have engineering as well, and mechatronics, electronics, and CNET, which is more computer software based. Faculty of Communication, Arts, and Science. So that is your journalism, your advertising, public relations. We do have something new just last year called FCAD, and that is more of the creative industries. So for those of you who are into media business, into fashion design, and something to do with social media, this would be great for you. We have psychology in both Arabic and in English, and then we do have applied sociology in Arabic and environmental health science. We have a few majors here under the Faculty of Management. So forensic accounting, accounting e-business, events and tourism, luxury marketing, international business, supply chain management, and sports management. And
Okay.
I think now I'm going to hand it over to Christine, the other Canadian blonde here, so she can talk about scholarships. I know that's what you're all looking for.
So the first question, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Sorry. The first question most students have is about the tuition fees. So before I get into talking about scholarships and tuition fee reduction opportunities, I'll just go over the basic annual fee. So the majors don't differ under each school. So if you're enrolled in communications, that is your average annual cost. Creative industries, sociology and psychology have the same cost. Any of the majors under BBA, the Bachelor of Business Administration, architecture and engineering have the same cost. The engineering degrees, the mechatronics and computer network engineering technology have the same annual cost, and environmental health management is there. So that is the annual cost based on a full-time course load of 5 courses per semester for your main 2 semesters, fall and spring. And like I said, if this is before any scholarships have come into consideration or any fee reduction opportunities. So I'll be talking about that next. So we are currently offering a 30% tuition fee reduction for pre-registration. So this is for students who apply and they make a deposit by the 31st of May. So anyone who is on here that has an application with us, get in touch with us to help you finalize it, and we'll walk you through the next steps. Anyone who is on because they're interested in applying, get your application in right away so we can start to process your pre-registration. And in addition, we also have scholarships. So we have academic scholarships starting at 20% for students who have an 85% average or above, or the equivalent. That's the American Canadian criteria is 85%, but it can vary for different curriculums. So that will award you a 20% scholarship, and academic scholarships go up to 50% tuition fee waiver for academic excellence. And we also have sports scholarships where you can obtain up to 40% for participation in sports. Financial hardship scholarships also up to 40%. Special needs scholarships for students of determination, we can award up to 40%. And special talent scholarships for students who have talents other than sports and can participate in our music and arts clubs that we have on campus. So the scholarship applications, you have to have conditional acceptance with us, and then you can start applying. And the application deadline for that is July 7th. But as soon as you have conditional acceptance, you can get your application in. So this year, because we're offering the 30% fee reduction opportunity, we'll offer a maximum of up to 50% fee reduction on your fall semester. But scholarships you can apply for every semester. So please get in touch with us. By calling our main line, it will get directed to us. Probably the best way to get in touch with us is by emailing info@cud.ac.ae, and it will be directed to myself, to Kristen, or one of the other specialists that are not speaking on this call, but they are present on this call, Blante, Mohammed Khalaf, or Abdul Rahman, who is hosting. And you can also write in your preference for someone to get back to you in Arabic or English, and we can accommodate that as well. And lastly, you can visit our website, www.cud.ac.ae. And one of the main banners on our homepage is this way that you can book your virtual pre-enrollment counseling session. So you can actually set a time where someone can call you, and we can call you by phone or by Zoom and set up a session. So no matter where you are in your application process, if you have yet to start, please book one with us so we can help you get on your way. If you are having trouble finalize your application, please get in touch with us. We're more than happy to help you. Like Kristen said, if you're having trouble with the portal, just send us your documents. We can help you. So get in touch with us. And if you have acceptance and maybe you just recently received it, so we haven't been in touch with you yet, we can help you get on track to your pre-registration and getting you familiar with all of the next steps. So please visit our website or email info@cud.ac.ae. Other than that, I think we'll just start taking questions now about all of the admissions requirements we just talked about. Doron, are there any questions?
All right. Yeah. Yes, there are a lot of questions. Sorry about that. So thank you, Kristen and Christine. That was very informative. So the first question is, do we require our final transcript, high school transcript, to apply?
Not to apply. So we will base a conditional offer on your predicted results. So don't worry about application. You can apply right now if you're in grade 12 with predicted results or first term results. And we also don't require your SAT marks yet, or like Kristen said, we don't require your IELTS or English language requirement at the time, like right now. So you can apply, and then we will take your final grades before September when the courses start.
All right. Another question is, if we don't meet the required score for the math SAT, what are our options?
So we do have a math placement test. So you can take a math placement test prior to your enrollment, and it's an internal exam that you can take. The dates will be posted on our website, but of course at this time we don't have any posted. So hopefully later in August, we'll be able to get people into that placement test so they can register for their first term math courses. And we also have a pre-calculus course for people who want to upgrade their math skills before they enter into their first credit math course.
We have a question from Rehab. If we apply right now and avail the 30% fee reduction, and we also apply for financial or academic scholarship, do we get both or one at a time?
So they can.
Doing both.
Sorry, go ahead, Kristen.
No. So we can give you the 30% for the first term, and then we'll be able to send you a scholarship form. When the scholarship will be actually awarded in July, but we are looking at giving the students the opportunity to include that in their first term tuition. So we should be able to award you both for the first term up to 60%.
Muzammil is asking, what if we don't have the transcript?
Which
Can I
one?
still apply? I think he's referring to his grade 12.
Well, basically, we need something to go off of academically, right, to make a decision from your grade 12. So like I said in before when I was speaking, I have had students reach out to their principals, to their schools, and ask them to send something saying, this is what this person's predicted marks is going to be, with an official letterhead. Because we know it's really difficult for you guys to get a hold of some documents. But we do need a grade 12 marks of some sort.
Okay, so Muzammil is asking for his 13 A-level results. However, Sarah is asking a similar question, so I think if we combine the two questions. I have my IGCSE and AS level grades, but I'm waiting for one retest result. Should I apply anyway or wait? And can I present my IELTS after I get admissions?
Yeah, apply anyway. Like I said, we just need the 2 AS levels to consider you, and provided that you meet those requirements, once you get your next results, then we'll also add that to your file. IELTS is fine. We'll take that whenever you guys are able to write it, hopefully in the next few months.
I have a question from Faiza. If we are in the IB, is the SAT required for the admissions?
So SATs are required for American curriculum only because it is a requirement to get the equivalency certificate from the Ministry of Education. So any curriculum that doesn't require SAT score, you do not require the SAT for your university application.
All right. Another question again is about scholarships and discounts. What do I need to get the 30% fee reduction? And is it applicable for 1 year or 1 semester?
The fee reduction opportunity we're offering right now is for pre-registration. So you have to make your first deposit by the 31st of May. So I encourage you to get in your application as early as possible so we can walk you through all of the steps to ensuring that you get that opportunity. What was the second part of the question, sorry?
Is it for the first, it's only for one semester or for a full year?
So it's for fall, but we typically offer similar pre-registration, so early registration opportunities throughout, but they're on a semester by semester basis. So this one is for fall.
We have a question from Dunya. She's asking, what are the requirements to get a sports scholarship?
Well, basically, I would just have to probably confirm with our scholarship committee, but the basics are you need some sort of proof that you have an achievement, letters from coaches, medals, certificates, and then we do need you to participate in one of our teams. But you know, you're trying to make a case for why you deserve this percentage. So the more, the better you can give us videos or anything to help. But definitely certificates or medals and letters from coaches or team sports. If you're a captain, that'll definitely help give you an extra boost in getting more scholarships.
We have a question from YouTube, Chinonso Sunday. Once again, guys, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. So the question is, please, I want to know whether your school do offer master's program in engineering management.
At this time, we have something that it's more MIT, so it's media information technology. And right now it's nothing to do as much with engineering. It is more business related and technology related.
We have a question from Ahmed. Do I need a letter of recommendation from my teacher for admissions?
For admissions to the bachelor programs, we don't require a letter from an academic reference. So just your grade 12 marks will do. Or was that a question about the master's?
No, it was about the admission actually.
Okay. So we don't require, it's not a requirement for your application.
And Ahmed is also asking, can I finish my degree in less than 4 years?
Certainly, you just won't get a summer break. So if you can definitely take a full course load in the fall and the spring semesters, and then we do offer courses starting May 17th for the summer. So 3.5 years is definitely something that some of our students choose to do, but it is a lot of work, especially if you're in any of the science related streams. So you know, it just depends on you as a student. So if you are somebody who can take on a lot, then by all means go for it.
Oh, we have a question from AK. What are the fee payment terms once we register? Is it prepayment prior to the semester, or do you have special arrangements based on student cases?
It is a prepayment prior to the beginning of the semester started for the 30% tuition fee reduction opportunity. So like I said, the first deposit is due by the end of this month, by May 31st, and then 50% of the tuition fees by June 30th, and then the remainder by the beginning of classes.
And just to add to that point as well, any students who wish to apply for a payment plan, it has to be approved by our finance department. So that's definitely something that we can help guide you on and help direct you to the right person. But in the end, it's finance that makes the decision.
What types of events and clubs do you have?
So many. Actually, one of the biggest surveys after this past year, I've had every student come up to me and say, CUD is one of the most active universities in clubs, in events. We have something going on almost every day in our main, it's called Block C. You know, it's really great to actually follow our Instagram account. So we would always advertise everything, and it's for students and it's for outside as well. I think one of our best events was this year was the K-pop event. We had that twice. So for all of you that are interested in K-pop, we have Wellness Wednesdays, we have sports clubs, we have motor club, so you get to see all the fancy cars in Dubai and participate in a global day where every nationality represents their home country. We have music, we have dancing, we have prizes, and also food. So definitely, I don't know, Christine, if you want to add something, or Sid.
I think that covers it. Yeah, we have music clubs, arts clubs, and you run the VEX competitions for engineering. We have like robotics competitions throughout the year. So clubs for students, and then also for prospective students and people who are interested in applying. So in addition to our open house, when our campus is open, we have tons of activities and opportunities for students to come participate in.
I personally used to run the gardening club, but unfortunately, it's been disbanded.
Gardening club in the desert, Abdurrahman. Speaking of desert,
it was very popular.
For all the new students first year, CUD does do a trip to Hatta, a kayaking trip in the desert, and then trips to the desert. So that's something really cool and cultural that a lot of the new students can take advantage of. And as Christine mentioned, I was part of the engineering robotics club, and our team actually won nationally here, our robotics team, and we were supposed to go to the United States to compete internationally. Unfortunately, it didn't happen this year, but there's a lot of opportunities. We're a very social university, and I think that with our move to City Walk this year, it's going to be absolutely amazing, because for those of you who don't know Dubai, City Walk is a fun, happening restaurant place, and we're really excited.
We have a question from one of our Facebook viewers, Grace. May I know if you have mechanical engineering course?
Yeah. So we don't have straight up mechanics, but we have something called mechatronics. So it's going to be half mechanical and half electrical. So it actually benefits you because it goes to both streams. So for those of you who are interested in both hardware and software, that's what we offer. It involves robotics, artificial intelligence. I know the big thing and the most talked about thing right now are robotics and artificial intelligence. So that's really where we're going with that course. Yeah.
There's a question here. I think the best one to answer it would be Sid, since he participated in it. Do you have international trips? I'll unmute you, Sid. There you go.
Actually, this question is mostly for student affairs, because they're the one who organize usually international trips. But yes, we do. Every year I know faculties do organize special trips for their students, for their programs. So yes, it is. And we had a lot of students. I think last year we had Greece, Italy, even Asia, Malaysia. So it is possible.
This year we were supposed to send our engineering students to Canada for a summer trip, and they would get a certificate from the University of Ryerson, but unfortunately the situation didn't happen. But I think they also went to Germany this year. So yeah.
We have a question from YouTube from Amjad Khan. For the total fee, please explain the amounts to be paid. He quoted the 65,000. So I think that's a full year tuition. Do they have to pay the full year tuition at once, or is it by semester? And
no, it's broken down by semester. The 65,000 that you're quoting is based on the full course load. You can always take less than the recommended course load. It just means that your degree would go beyond 4 years. But you pay by semester, so you pay approximately half that fee. We do have the fee reduction opportunities. You can do a payment plan, so it is very case by case. Feel free to email info@cud.ac.ae if you are an applicant, and we can speak with you directly.
All right, we have a question from Sarah. What are the features of the City Walk extension, and will the extension be available for all majors?
Well, the best, I think only a few of us have been to the actual site, but it is on our website on the main page. So the expansion will include things like our new laboratories. I can tell you that right now, just from being involved in the engineering department, that we're going to have state-of-the-art laboratories for our robotics. Research facilities, media studios. So we really want to expand on, our journalism program, our creative arts programs. The gymnasium is probably going to be the big one, and for any CUD students, parking. So I think because in Dubai, it's kind of hard to find parking in a small space. So we have lots of opportunities for that. And of course, all the restaurants that are in that block and in City Walk, you know, it's going to be walking distance. So
Here's an interesting question. Are you on TikTok?
we are. I would just like to say that I started the TikTok last year when I did a trip to China and India. And now TikTok, since this lockdown, has taken off. So I think we just started our new TikTok account. I believe it's, if you just want to look up Canadian University Dubai, you should find us. And we do a lot of fun challenges and things like that.
Grace is asking a follow-up question. May I know how much is the tuition fee for mechatronics? And can you discuss your scholarship program for new students? Thanks.
Yeah, our fee for mechatronics is approximately 69,000 dirhams a year. So I'm not sure where you're from, Grace, but around 20,000 US. And of course, with the scholarships, we offer academic, sports, financial assistance, and then we do have the 30% discount this term, up to 60% off. So really it depends on, you can apply to all scholarships. We actually encourage students to apply to all the scholarships, and we'll take the highest one. So if you apply for a sports scholarship and you get 40%, and an academic scholarship and you would be awarded 20%, we'll take the 40%.
We have a question from Mohammed. How is the accommodation, and do we get to choose our roommates?
Our accommodations are located in Discovery Gardens in Dubai, about 15-20 minutes from CUD, and the cost of your accommodations includes shuttle transportation between accommodations and campus multiple times a day, so you can always make it to your classes. There are a lot of options for accommodations, so you can have a private studio, private one bedroom, or share an apartment with up to 3 other students. You should get in touch with us directly. Abdulrahman, can they choose their roommates if multiple?
I think you can request it, but it's never a guarantee as long as they're same sex.
Yeah.
So it's possible. You can request it, yeah.
Dunya is asking, how can I apply for my student visa?
Well, basically, after you're accepted and registered for courses and payment is done, then I would just, or any one of our team will help you get in touch with our PRO, whose name is Faisal, and he would walk you through the process. But you have to be registered in courses before you can start the visa application.
All right. The visa actually is quite simple. You just need to submit their international passport and a colored picture, and then it will be done from our end.
Mm-hmm.
What if I study science in grade 12? This is a question from Safa. What if I study science in grade 12? Can I still apply for architecture anyway?
Yeah.
Or what if I didn't study science? Sorry.
Oh, didn't.
Sorry, I missed the most important word.
I think there's a math requirement, so you should have math in your grade 12.
Yeah, my suggestion is that students like that apply anyways, and then we'll have it reviewed by the admissions and the registration department. When can we register for the fall semester? This is a question from Jasra.
No.
You can apply now. Registration is open for high school certificate holders. So as soon as your diploma is granted or your leaving certificate is granted, we can help you through the registration. But definitely applications are open. So like Kristen has been saying, as long as we have something from grade 12, first term marks, predicted marks, a letter from the school stating what they think your predicted marks will be, applications are open. We encourage everyone to apply, even if you don't have the English language requirement, if you don't have the math test, the SAT or the MSAT requirement, apply. Applications are open.
All right. If I have been accepted to the university, how do I get the 30% fee reduction?
get in touch with us and we will walk you through it. But first deposit has to be made. So we will get in touch with you directly about your option payment to obtain the 30%. So the deadline is the 31st of May. So get in touch with us right away.
Leave your phone number with Abdulrahman right now.
Yeah, do it.
All right, and the last question for today, and then we'll end it here. There are more questions, but unfortunately we are out of time. Why should I choose CUD?
I love this question. Can I? Okay, well, let's all say something. I can say, coming from Canada and a Canadian university, the amount of family and community in a smaller university is so much more beneficial to our first year students. I walked into my first year classes in Canada and it was 300 people in one huge auditorium. Here, and just speaking for engineering, your labs are 24 people. You can walk into the dean's office anytime and have a chat with him. I didn't even know what my dean looked like back in Canada. So I think that takeaway for our students, they make lifelong friends. Go.
I was going to say something similar, the sense of community. So I'll just add to that, our student affairs department and our enrollment department. So myself, Kristen, Abdulrahman, Ablante, and Muhammad Khalaf will walk you through step by step to register you in your first semester. And you will have the student affairs department to keep you going through everything you need through all 4 years. And they'll be so supportive. Sid?
Abdulrahman should say something since he's an alumni.
He's alumni.
Oh, you'll get to meet me. That's the greatest point in joining CUD. Sorry, I had to do that. No, but jokes aside, it is a sense of community. I met a lot of my friends here in CUD. And when I was a student, I was able to work part-time at the university as well. Of course, it was not like a full-time part-time, but it was more like seasonal when you have events and whatever. But I did learn a lot from the university, and it is my home. I've been in CUD since 2009, so over 10 years. I won't leave. I won't leave. Sid, do you want to add something? Sid is also an alumni, by the way.
So I'll yeah, probably like all of you guys. For me as well, it's essentially it's a small university. It's family. Feels like a family. Also, because I transferred hundreds and hundreds of students. I met those students that went to Canada, and I can tell you that if you look at our logo at the bottom, inspiring minds and transforming lives, this is what it's all about. Okay, so we are your portal to education. Canadian system is one of the best in the world. So think about that. It's a great what we have achieved in the last 13, 14 years at the university. It's amazing how the growth. I've been in CUD for 9 years, and I've seen it all. How it went from from an unknown university, and now it's most repeatable in the region. So it's a great feeling.
All right, thank you, Sid. Thank you, Kristen and Christine, and thank you everybody for joining and asking questions. It was a great session once again, and we'll end it here. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Stay safe.